Hi everyone, welcome to my live. So I'm coming to you Tuesday night, the 7th of September at 6 o'clock. Just realised my hair's doing crazy things, so apologies for that. So I hope everyone's well. Let me know how you are and where you're watching from. So I've got a few people watching and more people watching on Facebook. So I come to you now live on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. So finally figured it out. And also Twitch. So that's where you'll see me. So my Facebook group is Rhonda's Readings by Rhonda Kelly, on my Facebook page rather. So if you haven't already found that, if you're watching from Rhonda's Readings and Rocks, please come over and like my Facebook page. So that's where I do most of my announcements. So that's where you'll find out what I'm doing. And also my YouTube channel is Rhonda's Readings. So I'm also coming to from that. So also great. Thank you. Natalie says from the Gold Coast. Hi, Natalie. So please, obviously to do free readings, I just pick people at random. There's no guarantee of having a reading. If you did want to book in for a reading with me, I have got reduced readings during COVID. So have a look at my website, just running across the ticker, rhondasreadings.com, and look at my shop tab, and you can see that I have reduced the prices of my readings during COVID. So I'll just continue doing that for another few months. What I'm doing is I'm doing lives now. So just you'll have an opportunity to get a snapshot reading for a couple of minutes. And they're 6 p.m. Tuesdays and 12 p.m. Fridays. So what I'm also doing during my live, so if you're sort of been a regular or long-term viewer of me, you'll know that I've come back after having a bit of an absence. So what I'm doing now is I'm incorporating readings into my live, so the same as I did before, just on a different platform. I'm also doing a psychic or spiritual book review. So if you have any books or oracle cards or audio books or any sort of spiritual product that you've come across or you want to find out more about, please let me know, because I might have it or I might be able to get hold of it and do a review on that. So last week I did the Energies of the Soul oracle cards by Harry T, and then I did readings with those cards. So I absolutely love them. So what I'll be doing tonight is a review of these oracle cards. So they're called Soulmate Oracle Cards. So it's Nurturing and Attracting Loving Relationships by Toni Carmine Salerno. So hopefully I pronounced his name right. So they're the ones I'll be reviewing. And what I'll actually be doing as well is the readings that I do tonight, I'll be using these cards. So it's just to sort of demonstrate to you how they work and how they, whether I like using them or not. So I do my rankings based on how easy they are to use and how good the messages are that I get and how they resonate with my readings, or whether it's something different. Also the price and just the appearance and the ease of using them. So they're the three things I use to do my rankings. So that's basically what I'm doing. So we'll be doing readings tonight. Rimsha. Hi, Pauline. Oh, welcome, Pauline. So if you've joined me for the first time, welcome. Please share this video, and please also like my Facebook page, Rhonda's Readings by Rhonda Kelly. So that would be wonderful. If you're watching from YouTube, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Rhonda's Readings, and you do then get notified if you press that bell that when I release future videos. But you will see that I'm doing them every Tuesday and Friday from now on. So that's what I do with my lives now. I do book reviews. But I also am hosting a psychic fair. So I realise it's COVID. I'm based in Sydney, from Melbourne. So I realise it's a really difficult time with lockdown. We can't go anywhere, can't go more than 5 kilometres from our house. So it's not ideal. So just as a way of keeping people connected, that's why I've reduced my readings. And that's been really popular. So that's great. But what I've also done is given other readers the opportunity to connect with you. So as you know, I host Ocean Wings Psychic and Spiritual Fairs. However, I have had to cancel my in-person tour dates for the rest of the year. That's more because don't know what's going on, but I've decided to just do virtual events instead. So I'll be doing the virtual events sort of every couple of months. But the first one is Thursday the 23rd of September to Sunday the 26th of September from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. I've got some really exciting readers lined up already for you, and they're amazing. They do quite different readings from each other. So that's what I've been trying to do, get people that are a little bit different. Also, they might be starting out in the industry, or they've not sort of done virtual readings. So it's more just to get people out there, get people connected. So they're the readings, they're the dates for my virtual reading room. And you've already met Kimberly, who read for me last Friday at 12 o'clock. So this coming week, where we have Kelly, who's an animal communicator. So if you do want a reading by Kelly on Friday, remember it's just a little snapshot reading, a tasting of what she does, send me a photo of your pet. So if you'd like her to sort of look at that photo, and if she's drawn, she might do that reading. So just that's something that you can do if you'd like to join me 12 o'clock on Friday, and if you would like an animal reading with Kelly. And then you can see what you can basically see what she does, and if that resonates with you, then you'll be able to do a reading with her. So hello to everyone watching. I've got Nav, Ruby, Vanessa, Natalie, Nicole. Yeah, I'm doing well, thank you, Nicole. Oh, hi, Lenny. Thank you. If everyone in the room can send Lenny a virtual hug of support. He's had a loss, so yeah. So if we could just send Lenny some hugs. I actually my auntie actually died the following day, Lenny. Just so that you know. So it's been, and I wasn't close to her, but you know, it's still a shock either way. But so it's been quite a tough time with COVID and people transitioning and people adjusting to that. So hi, Cassie. I've got Cassie. Hi, Vanessa. Vanessa's from Hastings. Thank you. And welcome, Pauline. First time you're doing. Yeah, so Rimshaw, I'm doing readings as long as you've. Yeah, so that's Kelly, who I've just explained will be doing the live with me on Friday. So if you would like a pet reading on Friday from a woman who's absolutely amazing, what she does, you know, she helps pets with a variety of issues, whether they're anxious or not getting on with the owner or not liking the new place, whatever it is, she can help resolve that. So she offers practical and quite healing support to the parents and their pet. So yeah, if you'd like a pet reading. Oh, thank you, Lenny. Yeah. Okay, so before I am doing readings tonight. So if you don't know me, I am a international psychic medium. I can call myself international now because I did a psychic fair in Malaysia, and I also did a psychic fair in New Zealand. So I'm international. So I'm looking forward to going back to Malaysia. I write for their magazine, their Body, Mind, Soul magazine. And yeah, absolutely wonderful connections. Also, if we also with sending healing to Lenny, if we can also send healing to think about Malaysia and you know my spiritual family over there. We did have, if you're familiar with the Golden Space, Natasha, a lady involved, actually passed away last week as well. So if you're feeling that inclined, just you know, sending a bit of healing and loving thoughts to Natasha and her family. Yeah, beautiful. So Lenny's going to be a reader as well at my virtual reading room. So Lenny's an amazing reader as well. He's read for me, and he's psychic, and he's also a medium. So he's had connections to loved ones. Sometimes about 4 at once. They all come at him at once. It's what my family are like, but also psychic and intuitive readings. All right. So what I'm going to do first off, so I'm just going to go to the first one. Before I start some readings, I'm going to, as I said, I'm going to be doing readings using these cards. So these cards are really small, like they're literally just a little card. So that's probably the only thing I don't like about it. Like you might like it, but I don't like the fact that it's so small. It's a bit like it's weird. It's weird to sort of shuffle, if that makes sense. So if I was using these in person, I would put them on a table and let someone, you know, put their hand over it and feel the energy, as opposed to sort of doing it like this. But anyway, that's my only take. And also the messages are quite wordy, I've found. So not trying to sound negative on something I'm reviewing, but that's just my preference, that I like bigger cards to look at. So for those of you who don't know, I don't need to use cards. For a long time I didn't use cards. I only sort of have some cards there, and sometimes I do readings and forget that I've got them to pick out a card. But for the sake of doing my book review, I'm just using these just to demonstrate sort of the product, basically. All right, so the first question is from Nav from YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel, Rhonda's Readings. So Nav has asked, hello, will I get the job I applied through my friend Marion in Muscat? Thank you very much. I'm feeling yes, actually. Yeah, my gut feeling is yes. There's a bit of a delay, actually, though. It's almost like there's a delay in the communication of those people, but you wouldn't have had that opportunity if it wasn't for those people. So it's bittersweet is what I'm feeling. This is, okay, I mean, obviously I'm not going to have all questions about romance and soulmates and that sort of thing. So this is kind of, it's not a love reading, but I've picked out a soul card and I'll see how I feel that resonates. So for you, I got two hearts merged through an explosion of love. United, they create unlimited wealth. Together, they fulfill the dreams. Well, I'm really drawn to, I do actually feel like that's relevant, because I do feel like this new job is going to be, you're going to flourish and you're going to get financial and non-financial abundance. And there's something about a different, I feel like you're going to get an opportunity to relocate through it. So you'll sort of do it for a while and I'll offer you a position somewhere else. And I feel like it's somewhere where you want to go. So it's kind of fulfilling your dreams. The explosion of love, I feel, resonates for you in it's just more like a loyalty through your friends. They've done you a good deed, I feel, Nav. Thank you for that. Hi, Vanessa. How are you? Thanks for joining me. And yes, I'm well. Thanks, Nicole. Alrighty, so let me have, so on Facebook, please like and share if you'd like a reading, and YouTube, please subscribe. I can actually see the Facebook people whether they've liked and shared. So I'm getting lots of people that have liked but not shared. Okay, so let me go to Vanessa. Hello, Hastings. Okay, will my son come home soon? Thanks in advance. He's definitely coming home, but not soon, I feel. There's a bit of a delay in that. And it's really interesting. Whenever I do these lives, there's usually a common theme. And that's okay. Like when you are in an audience doing platform, you might have a reading, or you might listen to a reading for someone else, but you feel that it resonates for you. So that's okay. Okay, so so I'm feeling like with your son coming home, it is a sort of a lesson in patience for you. And this card, again, it's quite long, it's quite wordy. So that's basically the message, but it's basically, have you lost sight of what is really important? Remember a time when life was simpler and the world seemed like a giant playground just waiting to be explored. Perhaps it's time to rediscover that world together. So that sort of resonates in a roundabout way. Trying not to make it fit, because it's obviously not a romance question. It's sort of his son, but there's obviously a lot of love there, Vanessa. And I feel like you, Vanessa, and another male are dying to reconnect with him. It's kind of like, oh God, aren't you finished yet? Or aren't you? Yeah, that's what I'm feeling. And I'm actually feeling like your son is, there's kind of a nervousness or an excitable energy about him. Like I feel like he gets a bit sort of distracted. So it's kind of like he'll come home and then he'll be excited and he'll want to sort of do things. Like there's something excitable about his energy. I feel like he'll be so excited to come home. So that's really beautiful. Thank you, Vanessa. Hi, Cassie. I think I did that. So yeah, Rimshay, I'm doing readings tonight. My screen keeps flickering. I've actually got quite a lot of messages. Okay. All right, so Ruby has asked, when will AB reach out to me? I'm getting a 3 to 4 with that. And I'm, it's weird. I'm not getting, I feel like that's months, but yeah, I'm being told it's days and months. So that's a bit of a weird one. Like, I feel like there'll be, AB will reach out, but it won't be sufficient is what I'm feeling. And I'm feeling like the energy around that situation is going to resolve in a few months. So AB will reach out to you, but not in a significant way, or not say what you want to. So there's a bit of disappointment when they do reach out to you, I feel. Okay, so this is the card I pulled for you, Ruby. So if you just join me, I am doing a book review of these cards, and I am using these cards because I don't use them very often, and it's more just to actually try to use it and work out whether I'm going to keep them or pass them on. Okay, so for you, Ruby, with AB reaching out to you, I've got stop taking life so seriously. Achievements and possessions will pale into insignificance when your soul journeys back home to the light from which everything stems. Okay, that to me is, I get what they're saying, but it's quite airy-fairy. I would rather be more specific in reading. So, but the first line, stop taking life so seriously. And that's what I find with these cards. It's either the first line or the last line is consistent with what I'm intuitively picking up. So I would just say that these cards are a bit too wordy. So yeah, stop taking life so seriously, I feel, because I'm just feeling like you're kind of, I just feel like you're expecting too much from AB, and that's making them a bit anxious. So they'll reach out to you in a few days, but it won't be until a few months till it's resolved. All right, so thank you for that, Ruby. Oh, hi, Natalie. Hi, Rhonda from the Gold Coast. I have my second date. Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, because I read for you, was it last Friday or Tuesday? All right, can I see a relationship develop between us? Yeah, absolutely. And I feel excited for you. I feel really like if I was there in person, we'd be jumping up and down or something. Like it's kind of, I'm just being told about time. I'm just feeling that I'm just feeling a sense of wonder with both of you, Natalie. Like I feel like it's kind of like your lives are going to resonate with each other to the point where you're comfortable with each other, but it's going to be so different that it's it's going to keep really interesting. I feel like it's not one of those dates where it's not one of those relationships where you sort of, after a week, it's like you've been together for 10 years. I feel like it's going to be exciting. Like there's a lot of excitement about that. Okay, so you are the first reading, Natalie, where these cards might actually mean something with nurturing and attracting loving relationships for the soulmate card. So fingers crossed. But anyway, I'll read out what I've gotten and then I'll put my spin on that if that makes sense to you. So a profound transformation is taking place in your life. Be yourself. You have much to offer the world by just being you. Your love has the power to transform all things, including your relationship and love life. Yeah, so that's beautiful. But what I'm drawn to with this is be yourself. It literally, I feel like you both are, and it's almost like it's been so long since you have been able to be yourself in a relationship. So it feels really exciting, really. So that's so that's beautiful. All right, so this is some feedback. You said my date would go well and it went great. Do you see a relationship? Yeah, absolutely. So thank you for that. Okay, Lenny said, you sound like you've got a husband in the background. I heard a few noises. Yeah, he's actually just gone out. He goes and does his shopping grocery shopping when I do my lives. And I've actually got the window open behind me. And I live above a Thai restaurant. And I think someone's just gone on their tea break. So probably should have closed that before I started the live, but that's why that's probably what the noises are. So apologies for that. Hi, Erin. How you going? Hello. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Fingers crossed. But I do feel exciting. It's, you know, be yourself. It is feeling like it's exciting. Okay, so if you've just joined me, because it looks like a few more people have just joined, I am doing a review of, as part of my spiritual book review, of these soulmate cards by Toni Carmine Salerno for nurturing and attracting loving relationships. So what I do like about them, I like the fact that it's just like quite nicely presented, just little cards like this. So that's nice. And there's no booklet with it. So they actually, you know, when you buy oracle cards and you get an instruction booklet about the card spread and all that. So there are instructions, but it's just for you to have the cards sort of on a table and just intuitively feel. And there's basically a little blurb sort of describing the cards, like whether you're single or in a relationship. And these are the instructions. So that's in place of a booklet, basically. So that's nice and simple. That's really good. Then really nicely presented. I just find the cards very small and lots of words. and also review the price of the cards, whether I think it's worth it. These ones I actually got so it's Blue Angel Publishing, and I actually brought them at an MBS festival. And MBS festivals normally do, like, because normally a book of cards are sort of $20 upwards. It might be even $60. So some of them are more expensive than others. But what I do at the Mind, Body, Spirit festivals is I do, I basically buy sort of like the two, like there's usually two for $50 or something like, or two for $40. So that means I only paid $20 or $25 for these. So that's what I did. But it's kind of, I don't really use them much. So that's why I'm doing a bit of a review to see how I feel, like make myself use them. All right, so I've got lots of people watching. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm a psychic medium, clairvoyant, and I also host Ocean Wings events. I am only hosting virtual reading rooms this year. So I have some really talented readers where you can book a reading, and that's the 23rd to the 26th of September from 10 to 7. So stay tuned for that. And during these lives, I do book reviews as part of them. I've also already reviewed Harry T's Oracle of the Soul cards. So if you watch PTV Australia and see my past two lives, that sounds interesting, doesn't it? So I've worked with Harry T for a while, and we basically did some lives together this year, and he was telling me about his cards, so I went and brought them and I did a review on them. And these are ones I already had. Okay, all right, so let me I might try to look for some, so please like and share if you're watching from Facebook, and also please subscribe if you're watching from YouTube, and click the notification bell if you'd like to see you know, the notifications of when I'm going to be on next. Hi, Paula. I'll pick out a card for you since it's your first time here. Okay. I feel like you're a very private person, Paula. Yeah, it really, I'm just feeling like you're sort of well connected, or you know a lot of people, but not everyone knows the real you. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean that you're a private person. Like, people might think that you're close and all that, but you kind of, yeah, that's what I'm feeling. Like you sort of have your relationships, and then that's it. So, but anyway, this is the card I pulled out for you. So you don't need to. You can validate if you want, but don't feel obligated if you don't want. So this is trust in the healing power of love, for it is only through love and happiness. Sorry, it's only through love that happiness is possible. Observe all that transpires, but don't get emotionally attached. The storm will clear. You can be of assistance to the one you love, only if you remain positive. So that's really interesting, because I do feel like you are normally a positive person. You're just happy in your own headspace. Yeah, so that's a bit of an interesting one for you, Paula, but that's, in doing my book review, that's the card that I pulled out. Thank you. Okay, so I am going to have a look for any love romance questions since they're the cards that I'm doing. Okay, here's one. So Honey has asked, what is Jay planning on next? He's being really sweet. His intentions doesn't feel right. Yeah, look, you've got to trust your instincts, Honey. That's number one. And okay. All right, my eyesight's just gone a bit funny. So that means, and that's tuning into Jay's energy. And I'm suddenly feeling a bit angry and a bit entitled. So there's something interesting about Jay's sense of self and sense of entitlement and feeling angry if he doesn't get that. So there's a few, yeah, I'm feeling like Jay's a bit controlling. And I'm also feeling that he would kind of, you know, if you planned a date or planned something, he'd almost change that just to see how much your will would bend. So there's something a little, yeah, there's something a bit insincere about Jay is what I feel. So I feel trust your instincts. Okay, I'll read out the card I pulled for you. It doesn't, just as I pulled it out, my guide just laughed. So I'm feeling that it's not going to make sense. But anyway, I'll read it out to you. Close your eyes and feel your spirited connection to everything on this planet. Every person, animal, tree, and flower. Feel the ocean, the wind, the sky, all in perfect harmony. Moved by one eternal flow of life. And I started on eternal, so this isn't an eternal love, is what I'm feeling. I do feel from this that you need to spend more time outside. Again, my guides just laughed at me saying that to you, but that's the only thing I'm picking up from this card. Okay, but that's interesting. I just got told 3 down. So the third one down, I feel this card resonates with. So 1, 2. So that's Cassie. So Cassie, this card I feel resonates with you because my guides told me the third one down. 2, 3. Actually, it's definitely you because you've done that comment in the next 2. So yeah, Cassie, I feel like this is more about your spiritual growth and your connection to Gaia, your connection to the earth. There's something quite healing about that with you, Cassie. Okay. All right. So I've got lots and lots of questions now. I haven't kept up with them. Thank you. Thank you, Carmen. You've loved and shared. Thank you so much. Oh, beautiful. So this is Kelly. So Kelly, this is everyone. So people are watching on my Facebook group, my Facebook page, Rhonda's Readings by Rhonda Kelly. And if you're aware of my old Facebook group, Rhonda's Readings by Rhonda Kelly, sorry, Rhonda's Readings and Rocks, please jump over to my page, Rhonda's Readings by Rhonda Kelly, and like that, because that's where I post, I use that page more now. And you're also coming to everyone live on Twitch, so that's a gaming platform. And also YouTube, my YouTube channel is Rhonda's Readings. So if you're watching from YouTube, please subscribe and click the notification bell if you'd like to be notified of when I release future videos and go live next. So Kelly is the animal communicator, and Kelly will be joining me this Friday at 12 o'clock, and I'll be introducing her, and she'll be doing some readings, basically. So that's why I put out a call. If anyone would like a reading with Kelly, send me a picture of the animal that you'd like to communicate with. There's no guarantee of having a reading, but if Kelly's drawn to it, then she might read you during the live. So yeah, Kelly's available at my Ocean Wings virtual reading room, so you'll be able to book a session with her. All right, so I'm going to be doing my next relationship card since I'm reviewing these cards. So what does everyone think of these cards so far? I know it's taken me longer to do readings, but I'm just trying to incorporate what I'm doing in the spiritual book reviews. But what do people think of how they look and whether the message is resonating or that sort of thing? I'm kind of putting my own spin on them. I'm doing the reading out the card I pulled, but also sort of connecting to what the message is for me. So just got a question, Kelly. Does Kelly read for animals who have deceased? I believe the answer is yes, unless Kelly tells me otherwise. But Kelly, the main thing she does, I believe, is looking after the connection, the existing connection between pets and their owners. So, you know, if the pet is anxious about something or doesn't like having moved or whatever the issue is, she'll get to the bottom of what that issue is. But I'm just going to invite Kelly to make a comment in the feed just as to whether you do mediumship with pets. I do mediumship with pets. Sometimes I do. Yes, perfect. Thank you, Kelly. So Kelly does do animals and spirit. Yeah, so that's beautiful. And look, honestly, it really is a skill, because I've read books on telepathy and communication with animals, and it's quite full on. Like, there's quite a lot you need to know. And it's not something that came naturally to me. I do it now, and sometimes animals come through, and sometimes I get turtles, or I get really odd ones. But that's literally that's the bulk of what Kelly does. She's quite switched on with communicating with animals. So yeah, really interesting. Okay, all right. So I'm going to go to Rimsha next, and I'm going to, so it's kind of a relationship card. It's asking about divorce. It's asking for a confirmation of the negative. But anyway, I'll give it a go. Thank you so much, Josephine. Really appreciate it. Thank you, Karen. Thank you. All right. So, Rimsha, let me pick out a card for you to see whether you'll get a divorce. Okay. Wow. Okay. A new love is coming your way, yet in order for this to manifest, you must first release the past. Are you ready? All it takes is a conscious desire to do so. Well, so that's really the most on point with the readings. I don't know if I've... So really, in terms of answering your question, whether you'll get a divorce, that's quite a clear, it's time to move on when you've made a conscious desire to do so. That's what I'm feeling. And I do feel like you need to just put into action what your plans are, is what I'm feeling. Thank you. Okay. All right. So, Carmen, did I read you? Don't think I did I? No. I think I was about to, but then I got distracted and started talking about animals. Okay, so let me tune into you, Karen. Wow, I'm feeling okay, that's interesting, because you've asked about pregnancy. I suddenly feel sick. I feel like I'm pregnant. Like, I've got a morning sickness there, or afternoon sickness. I'm getting a bit of a headache tuning into that question. So I'm feeling that the message for you, Carmen, is it's only going to give you a headache if you let it. Like, it's like a feeling of what you can't control, you've got to let go, and what you can control, then you can act on it, or you can take baby steps, basically. So yeah, for you, I feel like it is a bit of sort of letting go, and I do see a pregnancy coming up, or it almost feels like you're pregnant already, actually. But yeah, that's coming. Who's the I feel like you've already got children, and because there's, the energy of children, and children come into your energy before you're pregnant. But I'm seeing two, actually. I don't feel that they're twins, but I'm getting a two with that. But anyway, the card I got for that, Carmen, is life is forever changing in accordance with nature's divine will. May we lovingly embrace life's changing seasons in the knowledge that all is as it should be, and that love is all there is. Yeah, so that's beautiful. So this one is, I feel, also on point. I've just got a bit of a pain in the chest, and I don't feel that's a medical warning or I'm picking up on something intuitively, but I'm just feeling like any sort of heaviness on your chest, anything that you feel burdened by, just let it go. Like you're only letting it being a burden if it needs to be. Like, if it's giving you a headache, if it's a heaviness, let it go. And I don't know whether it's you or your partner, Carmen, but I'm just feeling like there's a lot of family conflict and crap, like even like to the extent mine is, and that's something I've just walked away from. It's not my problem. It's not, what's that saying? It's not my circus, not my monkeys. So just really separate from that. And you don't even have to tell them what you're doing or what's going on, because it's almost like the more information you give, the more you'll be criticized. So and you know, be selective. Like whoever you want in your circle is fine, and if you don't want them, there's no sort of loyalty with family, I feel they need to tell you. Yeah, so that's interesting. Yeah, thank you, Lenny. Oh, thank you, Jay. Oh, you have 3 kids. Okay. Are you planning another 2 then? Or are they 2 really close together? No, I'm seeing another 2. Yeah, that's interesting, Carmen, because I'm feeling, when I felt the pregnancy, I saw the 2, like 2 are coming. So just be careful if you don't want twins. I don't actually feel like you even have twins in your family. I'm just, but it's something about a twin energy, or the kids being born almost like you'll have one and then you'll get pregnant straight away, something like that. Yeah, thank you, Carmen. Okay. All right. So thank you for answering that question, Kelly. All right. I'm just. Oh, you are 5 weeks pregnant. No family, no twins in your family. Okay, that's interesting. I read a really interesting book called The Laws of the Spirit World, talking about spiritual book reviews, and it was by an Indian lady, I think, Kovshed Bagani, and she basically lost her sons in a car accident, and she started autonomic writing, and she wrote this book. And it was actually really interesting. I don't know why, but I feel I need to tell you this, Carmen. But she talked about how there's no sort of heaven and hell, but the heaven has different realms. And obviously I don't know this because I've never died, but she talks about the different realms, and it's more about your intention and whether things are heartfelt as to whether you're in a higher realm or lower realm. So if you're, you know, for argument's sake, a politician and you're saying all the right things, but you've got an ulterior motive, then you're not going to go to a higher realm, you're going to go to a lower realm. Nothing against politicians, but just as an example that, you know, it's like God assesses what you've done, not other people or not social media or anything like that. But she came across the concept of twin souls. I don't think she called it that, but it's basically if there's sort of a karmic imbalance, like if you've lived a certain way and been quite bad to people, you can take a risk to have a more challenging life, to be reincarnated as someone who's going to go through a lot of struggles and really work really hard all your life and be really selfless in your life to jump up the realms, like to jump up further. So that was really interesting. But then she talked about twin sort of souls where, and I'm not talking about twin flames or romance, but more like a sort of like a karmic lesson of what that sort of means. But she's saying that if you've got a twin soul where someone's on a higher level, they'll intentionally help their twin soul in a lower level. Like, as in, if they've taken a risk to come into life and have a difficult life, they'll actually help, and they'll build them up. So that's what I'm feeling, is your bub is the one from the higher level. I'm just feels like a male energy, and it actually feels like he's going to help a lot of people in his life. And I feel like he's going to be really quite spiritual, really quite psychic, but also kind of like drawn to certain people, or even say like from at school come and like actually say that person needs help, or that person's dad's scared, like just know things that a child wouldn't know, kind of thing. So that's really interesting. And I do feel like he's going to have a mateship with a male energy that is almost like a challenging relationship, or you feel like why you still hang around that person. But I'm feeling like there's a twin soul kind of connection with that. So that's really interesting, because I don't normally pick up things like that, but I'm still just feeling like that twin energy with him. And I even feel like this friend will have, like they'll have the same mannerisms together. And you know, not be related. I actually feel like they'll look quite different from each other, like a different ethnicity to you. But yeah, that's really interesting. So let me know what you think of that, Carmen. And I hope I haven't freaked you out that saying that while you're pregnant. But but that book that I read was really quite profound. And obviously I don't know what happens because I've never died. But when I do read things or I hear things, my guides actually give me a tick if it's true. So my spirit guides gave me a tick that yes, that's what's happening. So that's really interesting. Hello, Pauline. Hugs. I went to school with Pauline, so I haven't seen her for a long time, but sending you big hugs, Pauline. Okay. So Carmen, please let me know what you think of that. Whether that made sense. Okay, so for those of you who just joined me, I'm reviewing these soulmate cards. So let me know what you think of the cards, whether you like them, you think they're too wordy, or you like them, or whether there's something you would use. Because I do teach psychic development. I do at the moment. I'm just doing individual students, but I will be offering another term starting next month. But yeah, so I'm aware that a lot of people have started their own psychic journey, and I encourage that. So let me know if these are cards that you would likely use or buy. Okay, so I am looking for some sort of love and romance cards. So hi, Gwenny. Yeah, I'm well, thank you. Yep, my husband and I are well, thank you. Okay, so all right, I'm drawn to you, Gwenny. And Gwenny, let me know if you would like to read in my psychic reading room. Not putting on a spot or anything, asking in front of, 30 people or something. Okay, but since I'm doing this review, Gwenny, I'm going to pull a card, although it's talking about work. Will my work structure affect me and my position much? So liked and shared. So although it's not a romance question, I'm just, for the purpose of what I'm doing tonight, I'm just going to pull a card. Yeah, before I look at the card, I'm feeling yes. And I'm feeling not, I feel like you will have a say in that, but it's a bit, they're going to ask you in a bit of a manipulative way. So I feel like, and you know, it's like when you learn mediation, negotiation, you know, if someone says, I'll offer you, you know, $50 to $100, like you know, if that's what you're playing with, you aim for the higher amount, because if you say 50 to 100, they'll offer you, you know, $51. Like just be very careful about what you say and what expectations you put out, because I'm feeling like they're not going to be clear about what they offer you. They'll almost sort of say, okay, well, if we do this, we'll do this. And then if you agree to one part of that, I feel like they'll come back to you and say, well, you actually said it would be okay if we did this, so that's why what we're doing. So I just feel like be very careful about what you say. Yeah, so I do feel like it will affect you. And I'm just feeling there's a bit more of an imbalance as to the amount of work that you're doing and the remuneration for it. So I feel like just be careful, like just protect the money is what I'm feeling. Anyway, but this is the card I pulled around that. The quality of your thoughts equals the quality of your life you experience. Thoughts are living energies that have an enormous influence on what you attract into your life. Think love, and that is what you will attract. So that's interesting. So what I'm picking up for you in this is that not focus on money to attract money. And I know that's the opposite of what I said, but kind of be a bit, I'm just feeling like this new work structure, and I'm feeling a male is coming in, or actually it might even be a very masculine sort of female, is going to come in and try to push your buttons and then turn around and justify your response in behaving a certain way. So I'm just feeling a bit of caution about that. And I actually just feel a bit, I feel like it will even out, but it's almost like he or she's going to work out what they can get away with who. Yeah, so I hope that makes sense to you. Okay, so yeah, so I'm on Facebook tonight, obviously, right now. Yeah, wonderful. Okay, Gwenny. Yeah, so if you want to get in contact with me and we'll talk about the psychic fair. Okay, so yes, I asked to work on, but then realized you were doing relationships. So then asked a relationship question. Okay, well, I missed that anyway. Okay, perfect. So that does resonate with you. So I've had a bit of a few sort of meaty questions. Carmen, if you can let me know if you're okay as well, just with what I said. Yeah, so it's actually interesting. I do find when I do lives, I get either the same type of messages or information in the same way. Like I'll get one live. I did a lot of past lives readings, and I don't normally I don't advertise I do past lives because I didn't realize I could. But I've also said to my guides, I just welcome whatever you want to give me. So yeah, that's really interesting. Who's got the sore neck? I'm drawn to Natasha, Pauline, Kelly, or Jay. I almost feel like my head's too heavy for my neck. Please excuse my messy hair. Thought I'd wear a headband and no one will notice, but now everyone's noticed. Okay, so let me have a look. All right, I'll do another career one. I know I've said romance, but that's okay. So Rainbow from YouTube has asked, which career path do you see me following in the future? So if you're watching from YouTube, my YouTube channel is Rhonda's Readings. Please subscribe and click the bell if you want to be notified when I go live again. And if you're watching from Facebook, please like and share. So as I said at the start, we're just also, if you could please send healing and prayers to Lenny, who's had a loss. Also, I've recently lost my Auntie Lil, so I didn't know her that well, but just sending positive intentions for her in transitioning. I feel like it has been difficult for her. Although she was sick, I just feel like it was difficult her crossing over. So just sending positive feelings for that. Also, I wouldn't really say my friend, but someone I met at the Body, Mind, Soul Festival in Malaysia, Natasha. So she's part of the Golden Space family. She gained her angel wings last week as well. And she was the most beautiful, sweet, very intelligent lady. So, she's obviously had many lives with us. And but yeah, just sending her, please, healing and prayers in her transition as well. So it's just nice to raise the vibration. All right. So now I'm doing Rainbow. So my neck feels a bit better. Whoever I connected with, I actually don't. It almost feels like an energetic thing. It's someone's a pain in the neck. Like that's what it feels like. But I actually feel like you'll be aware. You'll catch a reflection of yourself, and your head will be on an angle. And when that's happening, you've got to sort of, breathe in the white light and breathe out the toxic energy. I feel. All right, so Rainbow, which career path do you see me following in the future? Okay, I'm feeling something with not too much paperwork. I'm also feeling, Rainbow, that you kind of like order, like you like structure, you like order. So it's almost something that, and I'm seeing I used to do clinical trials, so I'm seeing kind of like a database, like an access of, like I'm seeing timelines, that when you have a study protocol like T0, T+7 days, T+4 days, like I'm almost like seeing a structure of a timetable of what you need to do something. And there's something perhaps a bit scientific or analytical about it, but also a bit kind of like teaching, like you'll almost have a complicated, like a protocol or something that, well, isn't complicated, but not everyone would understand it. So you're kind of explaining that to people. So that's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling a bit something quite structured in that, you have to look at it, understand it, but then once you do, you can teach others about it. And I'm just feeling like very much in the routine. And I don't know whether you do rosters or management, or that's the crappiest part of managing, doing the rosters. But yeah, something interesting like that. But anyway, the card I pulled for you, Rainbow, is be still, listen, feel, and just be. Have you forgotten what is truly important? When you pass from this world, all you take with you is your soul and the beautiful memories it holds. So that to me is, well, that's relevant to the prayer and blessings for the people who've just passed from us recently. But for you, it's almost like let go of, like, don't play games at work. Like, just, play the game that you need to, but don't make that your purpose of going into work to play games, is what I'm feeling. Just there's something very comforting about routine with you. Thank you, Karen. Thanks, Lisa. Oh, okay. So it was you, Kelly, was it, perhaps? Okay. All right. So reading for Natasha. Hi, Rhonda. Dealing with an injury and a lot on my mind. A card would be great. Okay, this one stuck out to me. Okay, I'm being told watch your blood pressure, Natasha. Like feeling a bit sort of dizzy and a bit yeah, I feel like just be careful of when you stand up too quickly or that sort of thing. A lot on my mind. I'm feeling with the stuff on your mind, patience is needed. It's kind of like I'm just feeling that when things flow, that's when you make decisions. And it's kind of like you've got a timeline of, okay, I need to make a decision a week or do one thing a week. And I just feel like the more you try to constrain yourself with doing that, it's not going to happen. But then when you're rested. So a lot of this frustration of things not working out or things not happening at a time they're meant to, that's actually because it's your guide's way of saying, hey, you got to stop and rest. So, allow yourself to rest. And then when you suddenly feel motivated or it suddenly flows, then make those decisions is what I'm feeling. And I don't feel like you need to be so stressed about money. It's kind of like you're quite hard on yourself, Natasha, with working out when you need to do things by a certain time and be at a certain point. But I'm not feeling too concerned about where you're at. And I'm also feeling that when you put out a positive intention, you attract that attention. But when you say, oh, I never have enough money to do this, then that comes back to you. So you've got to really be positive and saying, I'm going to have enough money to do this. I've done this step. I can then afford the next step when it's ready. And you'll literally get some money before you do that next thing. So that happens. And honestly, it does work. And be as specific as you want in that dialogue with your guides, Natasha. So an example for me is I was quite stressed about money at the time. And I remember thinking to myself, well, it'd be really nice to just have a nice meal with my husband. We'll get some barramundi and just cook barramundi. Because I've spent time as a teenager in Arnhem Land, and the barramundi is amazing. So I just and I was thinking about that, and I thought that'll be awesome. And I went to the Studio 10 audience in Sydney, and they normally give you a gift at the end of each show. They'll give you a bottle of shampoo or something to try, some product to try. And this time I actually got this massive box. It was a HelloFresh box, and the meal on the top was barramundi. So really be specific about what you want. And obviously not being greedy, like just asking for what you need, but you can be specific. And I'm just feeling like your guides are dying to communicate with you. You have got a flock of guides around you at the moment, so there's a few things changing, but I'm feeling like that's for the better for you. All right, Natasha, so I'll read out the card that I've pulled out for you. You, my beloved, are like a ray of golden sunshine. I breathe in your love, and all my concerns melt away, and all that is left is pure joy. Thank you, my beloved soulmate. So I actually feel like this is for you to say to yourself. So it's more about self-love, and you're good enough and you're smart enough, is what I'm feeling. Yeah, so that's really interesting. So thank you for that. So please like and share if you would like a card. Okay, so, and there's obviously no guarantee of a reading. It's just if I'm drawn to you. I am doing the book review of the soulmate card, so that's what I'm reading at the moment. Okay, so I'm just squeezing through. Okay, so sorry if I've missed you and not said hello. Hi, Anne-Marie, how you going? Lovely to see you. I was going to say lovely to see your beautiful face, but your little emoji has a mask, so I can't even see your face because it's an emoji, and I can't even see the emoji because it's got a mask. So that's just my little joke. Okay. And in answer to that, Gwenny, I've got a lot of humor around your relationship, so it actually feels good. Okay, so Ben has asked about career as a content writer. Will I be successful? Yes, but I'm also feeling there's a bit more learning and mentoring. There's a bit of, yeah, you're a bit headstrong, but just keep your ears open to listen is what I'm feeling. And there's a taller male around you, Ben, who is a bit of a mentor. So actually listen to what he has to say. You don't have to do it exactly the same way, but I'm feeling there's a need for you to listen. Okay, so this is a message for me. Lisa, hi Rhonda, my medical documentation has gone from one department to another higher department. Is this a positive sign? Yeah, I feel like it is, Lisa. I'm just feeling now, be patient. Like you've set that intention, just step back and be patient is what I'm feeling. Okay. Karen, did I read? No, I didn't read you. I read Carmen. Okay, so Karen, since you asked so politely, I'm going to do a reading from a soulmate card. Okay, now my guide's just laughing at me, Karen, and said, don't speak, just pick a card. So it's interesting. I've just got a pain sort of like in here. Who's the male around you? And I'm seeing Phineas Gage. If you don't know Phineas Gage, he's a guy who, because I'm connecting to a gentleman in the spirit world. And or are you related to Phineas Gage? What's the connection between you? So he was a railway worker, a construction worker who was like hammering something, and a metal rod pierced his frontal lobe, and it didn't kill him. And this was when they didn't know much about neurobiology, and so it didn't kill him, and they were all excited. But there were personality changes because the frontal lobe is where you have personality. It's also where you have seizure activity. It fires backwards. But that was really interesting in that there was a head injury with him, and it caused personality changes, and that. So they learned quite a lot. If you get a chance, read up about people who've had unusual brain anatomy or brain function. Like there was one guy who was another construction worker and worked on, like he literally balanced, no safety equipment. I think this was the 1930s or something. And he was missing the part of the brain responsible for balance. Yet because of neuroplasticity and, you know, when you're a baby, your brain, other parts of your brain takes over. So that injury occurred when he was young enough that his brain compensated. So that was really interesting. But yeah, so Karen, I'm feeling like you're related to Phineas Gage, or there's a man that's passed with a head injury that literally like a switch of personality. So, and a very dry mouth. He's not, I feel like he was diabetic as well. So I don't actually feel like he was a relative, but I feel like he's a man that grew up with your dad or was a close mate of your dad's. And he looked at you as family, but I'm saying no blood, so I feel like he wasn't your family. But that's really interesting. But that's kind of relevant, I feel, to why you're asking this question, why you want one of these cards. But anyway, this is the message. A great love. Did I read this out to you? No. A great love life requires intimacy, trust, and ability to share your feelings. Express your doubts and fears, your likes and dislikes. Talk openly, listen, be present, always with an open heart and mind. So the part I'm drawn to this is the middle line. Express your doubts and fears, your likes and dislikes. I feel like that's what you need to do sort of right now. And I don't know why I picked up with I was going to say your uncle, but your dad's friend who had those head injury and personality changes. So I don't know what that is. But if that makes any sense to you, please let me know. Okay. Oh, thank you, Natasha. You blew me away, Rhonda. You touched on things I didn't expect. Your reading was insightful and an amazing release for you. Oh, beautiful. I'm so happy to hear that, Natasha. Yeah, my readings have been a little sort of off tangent tonight. I can normally get straight to the point, but I'm getting some unusual things. So that's interesting. I wonder if my sort of psychic ability is changing or something. My mediumship changes all the time, by the way, so that's awesome. Okay, I did have another, so it's already an hour, but there was another one I was really drawn to. So just bear with me, talk amongst yourselves. So in case you haven't heard me say this yet, that's my virtual reading room coming up. And if you would like a animal reading next Friday at 12 o'clock, please send me a photo. And you can do that on Facebook if you like. My Facebook group, Rhonda's Readings by Rhonda Kelly, just post a photo of an animal that's past or present, and Kelly might be drawn to it to do a reading. So Kelly's going to be one of my readers at my Ocean Wings virtual reading room. Okay, I can't actually find it. Okay. Oh, okay. Thank you for the confirmation. So your dad has cancer and been getting headaches. I have a headache most of the day. So, right, great. I've got some feedback here about the cards. So the cards seem to have a lot of words, but a couple have been on point. I would love a reading if possible with the cards. Yeah. So I read you, Karen, didn't I? Okay, so this is another romance-related one. So I'll read that. So just in summary with the oracle cards, I like the simplicity in the instructions. They're not a book that you've got to read. The size is okay, but it's not my preference to have smaller cards. They're very wordy. So what I've found doing these cards with romantic questions and non-romantic questions, there's some parallels, but I've had a couple that have been really on point with what I've picked up. The others have kind of been interesting, but I have found my readings have been different in the sort of the differences or the extremes in information. Like I'm picking out some things that I sort of wouldn't pick up on. So maybe it's worth my while using these again, just for that purpose, in getting a little bit more evidence or a bit more information coming through. But yeah, so thank you for being my guinea pigs tonight and doing the book review and using these cards. And thank you so much for watching, everyone. I'm doing my last reading from Nicole. So who will be my next potential romantic interest? Please and thank you. Okay, so I just got told tall, dark and handsome, but there was humour about that because I actually feel like they'll be quite pale. So I'm being shown like a 2 out of 3. So tall and handsome and pale is what I'm feeling. So this is a card I've got for you, Nicole. It is only normal to miss someone who is dear to you. So I feel like that's mediumship, actually, a female, like a mother-like connection. So it's only normal to miss someone who is dear to you, but remember, love knows no separation. You may be physically apart, yet spiritually you are always united. Those you love are forever present in your heart. So that's interesting. So I'm drawn. So in answer to your question, I pulled out this card, but I'm actually drawn to a female, a mother or mother-like connection in spirit. And I'm feeling like the new potential romantic interest will kind of remind you of your mum. And I don't mean that in a creepy way, Nicole, but almost like have the best of your mum's qualities. So there's something quite comfortable, I feel, about this new romantic interest. I just feel like you really just click. I'm not getting a time frame, but I am Okay, I'm drawn to November and I'm drawn to January, February. And I do feel like there'll be a bit of a sort of a connection before there's that romantic connection, is what I'm feeling. So it's almost like you feel comfortable, but you hadn't have thought of that until you do. That's what I'm picking up. Oh wow, I've got someone watching from Portugal. Hi. Okay, so thank you so much for everyone watching. So I do my lives Tuesday at 6 o'clock and Friday at 12 o'clock. So for my Ocean Wings virtual reading room, I am introducing you to other readers. So on Friday, Kelly will be doing animal readings. So if you'd like a reading with your pet, please on my Facebook group, Rhonda's Readings by Rhonda Kelly, post a picture of your pet. And you can do that. You can do that just in the comments of this video or the next video. I'll set up the next video. So set up the next video so you can do that. No guarantee of a reading, but you might be able to get a reading with Callie with that. So thank you so much for listening to my book review, my spiritual book review. If you would like any particular book or CD or something done as a review, if there's something you've loved or hated or you just want my take on it, please let me know. Or if you have any favorite authors or any favorite subject matter that you're really drawn to, I'm happy to try my best to get a hold of it or let you know my take on that. So thank you so much for watching. So it looks like I've got some new people as well. Thank you. And US, well, hi. So hi Stephanie and hi Andre, thanks for watching. Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time, and I'll see you. When will I see you? Yeah, I'll see you Friday at 12 o'clock. Thank you.